And welcome back to our celebration of Women's Small Business Month. Today, help with money matters. Our next guest says there's one very important thing that will determine whether or not you have success with investing. What is it? Well, Susie Brotz is a financial advisor with Edward Jones, and she's here with the answer. Hey, Susie.
Hi, good morning.
Good to see you. Okay, before we get to that answer, I want to go back. I just want to start a little bit with, just talking about investing in general. It's a very unusual time, with the pandemic and with the election. There's so much going on and so much uncertainty. What do you think is one of the most important things just to do regarding your finances right now?
Honestly, the most important thing for people to do is to have a plan. And just the thought of that is really stressful for a lot of people. My goal is to take the fear out of that and to help people have a conversation, discuss what's important to them, what are their goals, what's their time horizon, come up with a plan for them. And literally the sense of relief that I can see on my clients' face when they know we've developed a plan specifically for them, it's really powerful.
What are some of the things that you think are most important to consider when doing this right now?
Just a few of the things you want to obviously consider: your time horizon, your comfort with risk, your goals and objectives. Everybody's situation is a little bit different, and then you layer in the pandemic, the election, all of those things in today's environment. Are you currently working? How secure do you feel in that job? And what is the outlook going forward? Do you have emergency cash on hand if you need it? If you're not working, what are your options? If you're retired and living on a fixed income, do you want to look at your withdrawal rate and see if you could maybe take that down a little bit to preserve your cash?
What do you say to someone who, with all the uncertainty with the election and with COVID, are saying, isn't it just better to wait until things settle down to do something with my money?
I hear that a lot. And my answer to that always is successful long-term investors don't rely on that. They rely on time in the market, and they don't try to time anything. It's impossible to predict what the markets are going to do. It's better just to stay invested and focus on your long-term goals. There's so much chatter right now about this election and what's going to happen if the Democrats win, what will happen if the Republicans win. And if you truly look at the facts, if you look at history, it honestly has not mattered. There have been 19 elections going back to 1936. In the decades following those elections, in 19 out of 19 times, you had a positive return. In 15 of 19 of those election decades, you doubled your money. So again, you don't want to try to time it. And honestly, with the volatility right now, the markets dislike uncertainty the most. Right now, there's opportunity. Volatility brings opportunity. If you have cash on hand right now, you want to take advantage of that. I love the idea right now of what we call dollar cost investing. And what that means simply is, rather than taking a chunk of money and investing it all at once, you invest portions of money regularly over a course of a period of time. For example, let's say you have $100,000 you want to invest. Instead of taking that $100,000 and investing it today, October 28th, 2020, and hoping that, the markets go up, you take, say, 10% of that and invest that regularly over the course of the next 10 months, $10,000 over the course of 10 months. Again, your opportunity for success for buying more shares at a lower average price is much greater.
I like that. What's that called again? Dollar
cost averaging.
Dollar cost averaging. Okay, I like that idea. This is what we've been teasing all day. So I want to know what this answer is. What is the most important determinant of success when investing?
So this surprises a lot of people, but the most important determinant of investment success is time in the market and your overall asset allocation. 90% of your investment results come from your portfolio and your asset allocation. This is critical. A well-constructed portfolio is the most important thing. And not only is it going to help dampen your volatility, it will help increase your returns as well.
Love it. Okay, what about the CARES Act? A lot of people have heard of it, but they're not really sure exactly what it is or how it impacts them.
Yeah, so the CARES Act came out earlier this year. It stands for the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Securities Act. Two important elements of this for individuals. It was brought out to provide relief for individuals and businesses who have been impacted by COVID. For individuals specifically, what it allows you to do is, if you are taking RMDs or required minimum distributions from your IRAs, it allowed you to waive that for the tax year 2020. What it also can potentially allow you to do, and a lot of people don't know this, is it allows you to access your retirement savings up to $100,000 without the 10% penalty before the age of 59 and a half. Everybody's situation is different. You want to talk to an advisor, a tax professional before you do this, because there would be tax consequences. But that is a possibility if you have been impacted by COVID due to illness, job loss, furlough, et cetera.
Interesting. That again points to the importance of having a good advisor like yourself.
Absolutely. It's super complicated.
For sure. So should people be changing from a traditional IRA to a Roth IRA? I know that's another question many have.
Yeah, it's again a very interesting option for a lot of people. So the difference is a traditional IRA is funded with pre-tax dollars. And what that means is you would pay tax on it when you take the money out. Presumably, you're going to be at a lower tax bracket because you're no longer working. A Roth IRA is the opposite of that. It's actually funded with after-tax dollars. So the thinking is if you believe that taxes are going to be higher when you retire, a Roth is potentially a good option for you. In a conversion, what you do is you convert a traditional IRA to a Roth IRA, but then you have to deal with the tax consequences in that year. Again, it is a potentially great option depending on your personal situation and the taxes involved. So you definitely want to talk to someone.
Definitely need to. Thank you so much for joining us, Susie. That was super helpful.
Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. And here's the information for Susie Brotz. Her phone number is 262-302-4151. You can call for a second opinion, even if you've got a financial advisor. If you need one, the website on there as well.